House of the Dragon Starks will break a Game of Thrones curse. House of the Dragon Season 2 will introduce Lord Cregan Stark, and he will break a brutal family curse that featured in Game of Thrones. Lord Cregan Stark is introduced in Season 2 of House of the Dragon, and he will break a tragic Game of Thrones curse. The Starks may have been Game of Thrones' main house, but they've been largely absent from its prequels so far. With the story focusing more on the warring Targaryen factions in King's Landing and Dragonstone, the Winterfell updates will hardly need updating, but that will change with the start of Dance of the Dragons. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also click on the notification bell to remain updated. Eventually, House of the Dragon's Cregan Stark will make the journey to King's Landing. He gets to the end of the Civil War, he cleans up the mess, briefly serves as the king's arm, and goes home happily. It's a contrast to Game of Thrones Starks, who were often doomed to go south. As Catelyn Ned recalled in the Game of Thrones pilot, "Your father and brother once drove south at the behest of a king." That proved their downfall, and it was Ned's as well. Almost every Stark who went south of Winterfell in Game of Thrones suffers death: Robb, Catelyn, or great turmoil, as many as Sansa, Arya, and Jon Snow go through, but Cregan will break that trend. The Starks' doom on their journey south, which really begins with the deaths of Rickard and Brandon Stark by Aerys II Targaryen, aka the Mad King, is how different they are from the rest of Westeros. The North is the largest of the Seven Kingdoms, but is more isolated than the rest of King's Landing politics. It has its own people, its own culture, its own ways. They say there must always be a Stark in Winterfell, but the truth is often that the Starks would be better off staying put and focusing on the North. It's not a country with a huge amount of political intrigue or even interest, and certainly not in the kind of game that House Lannister saw in Game of Thrones and House Hightower in House of the Dragon. You don't know how to play it. They are more honorable and honest, but that also means they are easier to defeat. The Targaryens and Lannisters beat the Starks before they even realized they were in Game of Thrones. It's great for them as humans, but it means they'll be overwhelmed when they go to King's Landing, because it works so completely differently than the North, and they have to learn to juggle that power dynamic hard. Cregan Stark is an impressive character even by his house's usual standards. He is strict, willful, and absolutely ruthless in his approach. Although he is a strong believer in honor, he takes House Stark's most brutal ways to extremes. Ned may have once said, "The man who judges must wield the sword," but he had no desire to kill. On the other hand, Cregan will arrive at King's Landing and will attempt to execute many evildoers. He seems more bloodthirsty, but he also gets results, and by being able to go south, do his job, and return to Winterfell, he achieves what so many Game of Thrones Starks have sadly failed to do. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comment. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.